Hey guys, and welcome to a part 2 episode of the Straight Up Show podcast. I am your host, once again joined by Lee and Brandon, co-creators of Straight Up. How you guys doing? Doing all right?
Oh, yeah, I'm doing all good.
Doing great.
All right, so I know you guys went through a lot this last round, but we're coming to an end. So, any projections about what's going to be the best video game?
Not really. Probably DBZ Fighters.
Ooh,
Yeah,
okay.
Probably a good chance.
That's a dark horse right there. See, I would go with like the easy one and say like Mario.
Okay. All right. Well, all right, guys. Well, to go ahead and catch you back up if this is your first time listening. We have a video game bracket dedicated straight to millennials. Over the past 30 years, we have a list of 64 games. We're down to, my math is bad, but we're down to the second round. All right. Now, it's three of us that are voting for this. Best 2 out of 3. But we all still have a wild card. The wild card lets one video game advance to the next round automatically. So keep in mind, none of those wild cards were used in the last round. So keep in mind, all 3 of us had the wild card. All right. And like I said, the ultimate prize, if you're listening, if you have submitted your bracket, ultimate prize gets how much, Lee?
$200.
And credit. I'm just kidding. But $200 is if you get the perfect bracket with this countdown, or with this bracket. So let's go ahead and get started. You guys ready?
Yep.
Let's do this.
All right. So, we're going to start with sports, all right? So right now we have NCAA versus Wii Sports.
Yeah, it's Wii Sports.
All right, Lee?
Wii Sports.
Ooh, wow. Wow, it was quick. Wow. All right. Well, I wanted to go NCAA because it was a great game, but my vote doesn't matter. You know what? Ooh, don't want to use this.
I mean, why play a game that's sports when you can just actually exercise and play sports?
Valid point. All right. Well, Wii Sports it is. All right. Next up, we have Rocket League versus NBA Jam. Lee, what do you have?
So as much as I love Rocket League, I've got to give it up to my nostalgia and say NBA Jam.
Ooh, wow. Okay. All right, Brandon, what do you got?
Well, it's kind of disappointing. I feel like Rocket League is the better game because there's way more into it, to like score. I mean, NBA Jam is good, but like Rocket League, I believe you need more skill.
Okay. So what's your pick?
Rocket League.
All right. Well, I have my pick. And I'm going to pick NBA Jams. NBA Jams event. Now, Brandon, keep in mind, you still have a wild card. Do you want to use your wild card for Rocket League?
Nah, because if another unexpected lose like this happen, I'll use it.
Yeah, loss.
Yeah, unexpected
Okay.
loss.
Okay.
Words.
All right.
Believe in.
All right. Well, we're going to go. Okay. Well, we're going to go ahead and go to the next one. Up next, we have Mario Kart versus NHL. Brandon, what do you got?
It's Mario Kart.
All right, Lee.
Mario Kart.
Yeah,
Okay, well,
let's get that NHL out of here.
All right. So it's about to get harder. Okay, it's about to get harder. We have, which is I think my personal pick. We have Punch Out versus Tony Hawk. I'm gonna pick Tony Hawk. Lee, what do you have?
I'm right there with you. I got to say Tony Hawk as well.
Whew. Okay. All right, Brandon. What about you?
Yeah. It's Tony Hawk. Just going into it, there's a lot more you can do in Tony Hawk.
Okay. All right. Tony Hawk wins. All right. Let's jump to the. Let's go ahead and go to the fighting part. All right. Let's go to fighting. All right. First up, we have Street Fighter versus Fatal Fury. Brandon, what do you got?
Fatal Fury. Only because I cannot play Street Fighter anymore. So, Fatal Fury.
All right, Lee, what do you have?
As much as I love my man Terry Bogard, I got to give it to Street Fighter.
Woo, yes. All right, Brandon, I'm sorry, but Fatal Fury is out of here.
I mean, it's expected. Street Fighter is Street Fighter.
Like I said, man.
Yeah.
You can go ahead. You can go ahead and use your You can use your what you call it if you want it.
Nah, this is fighting games. I'll let them go by.
Okay. Next one's gonna be a hard one, guys. We have Marvel versus Capcom or versus Super Smash Bros. Lee, it's up to you.
Oh, why'd you have to start with me? This hurts. Oh, God. I am totally gonna pick something, and I'm not stalling for time because this is very hard to choose because I love both of these franchises so much.
Okay, so
No,
I can give you mine.
Okay, well, Brandon, go ahead and go.
So, because this is a best video game, I do think Marvel vs. Capcom is a better video game. Super Smash Brothers is more fun, but Marvel vs. Capcom get my vote because to me it is a better styled video game.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna go with Marvel as well. So man, it's already going to the next round. Lee, we want to hear from you. What is your pick?
Man, you guys kind of went against what I was thinking.
Yeah.
I was actually gonna make a case for Super Smash Brothers because it's been the most solid, consistent series out of the two. I don't know if either of you played Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, but that series just really took a dive with that game.
Yeah.
And Smash Brothers has really upped its game since then. So I would have to give it to Smash.
You know, that's actually a good point.
Now, Brandon, you can't change your vote. You already wasted one already.
Yeah,
sure. But you can say Super Smash Brothers. Both of you can. If you use your wild card.
Man, why you want me to use my wild card?
I'm going to use my wild card for Smash Brothers.
What? Oh, no. You didn't do this.
Hey, you asked. I'm going to take you up on it.
Okay. All right, so it's final, right? You're using your wild card for Super Smash Brothers. Even though we have more rounds to go, you're using your wild card for Super Smash Brothers to go past the Marvel vs. Capcom. Correct?
Yeah, I have to do it.
Ooh, man, this is hard. Let me write this down. All right, Super Smash Bros. Oh, man. Goes to the next round. Wow. I'm just sad. Sorry. All right. Next up, we have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Tournament versus Dragon Ball Z. I'm going to go with Dragon Ball Z. Brandon, what do you have?
Yeah, it's DBZ.
Lee?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
Okay. Simple enough, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So next up, we have Killer Instinct versus Guilty Gear.
Both have great play style and mechanics in it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have to go with Guilty Gear because a lot of the recent games have took their play style and made them better. So
Okay, Lee?
I'm going to agree with Brandon and say Guilty Gear, pretty much for the same reasons he said.
Well, I'm going to use my... No, I'm just kidding. All right, well, Guilty Gear advances. I have no argument there. All right? So next up, we have RPG. All right, so up first is Persona versus Kingdom Hearts. Lee, what do you have?
I'm gonna go with Kingdom Hearts just because I've had more fun with that franchise than I have Persona.
Okay. All right, Brandon.
Golly. I mean, Persona is great. I think it's a better game.
Mm-hmm.
I guess Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom Hearts is gonna go by, even though they're really pissing me off. Like, the series is really pissing me off. I'm gonna vote for Kingdom Hearts.
All right, Kingdom Hearts it is. I'm not gonna argue there. All right, this is a hard one. You ready? The Witcher versus Diablo, and I took this one first. I'm gonna go Witcher. Lee?
I thought you said this was a hard one. Diablo, hands down.
Yeah, and this is really because Diablo is an MMORPG.
Right.
Diablo is a better game.
Wow. Okay, I'm not arguing. That's it. All right. Up next we have Baldur's Gate versus Elder Scrolls. Lead us up to you.
I'm going to say Baldur's Gate because I've enjoyed those way more than I've ever enjoyed any Elder Scrolls game.
Okay. All right, Brandon.
I have to go with Baldur's Gate as well. Even though I do enjoy Elder Scrolls, Baldur's Gate is like a premium version of Elder Scroll.
Okay.
In my opinion.
All right. Well, Baldur's Gate advances. All right. Up next, we have Final Fantasy versus Pokemon.
This is bullshit. How did this happen?
Why did we play God?
Pokemon versus Final Fantasy. I'm going to take this lead first. I'm going to go with Pokemon. Brandon, you're up next.
It's Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy is a better game than Pokemon. Not knocking Pokemon, just saying.
Lee?
I'm going to say Final Fantasy as well, just because it's reinvented itself so many times, and Pokemon has just kind of done the same thing with every game, just adding a little bit extra here and there.
But
whereas, like, if you get, like, between Final Fantasy 14 and 15, there are completely different styles of games.
And don't forget what Pokemon did with Sword and Shield. Very dissatisfied.
Wow. Okay. All right. So we're heading to our last subject for this round. We're gonna go with action and adventure, right? So first up we have, and this is gonna go to the lead first, okay? First up we have Grand Theft Auto Rockstar versus Red Dead Redemption, also Rockstar.
How did this happen?
Did you plan this?
It did not.
Oh, jeez. Okay. I'm going to say Grand Theft Auto because you can't listen to the radio while driving your horse.
All right, Brandon. What about you?
Can you go? I got to think more about this. What's your opinion, Calvin?
My opinion is I'm going to go. If there was no Grand Theft Auto, there would be no Red Dead. And the concept of free world really came from Grand Theft Auto. So Grand Theft Auto is the OG of the way Red Dead is played, but just a different theme. So I'm going to go with Grand Theft Auto.
You know, and
that's a great way to look at it.
And like last time, I did forget about previous Grand Theft Autos. So because of that, I will go with Grand Theft Auto.
All right. Yeah. So I'm not using the wild card then. Here we go. All right. So up next we have Grand Theft Auto Advances, by the way. So up next we have Metal Gear Solid versus the Destiny. Sorry. Brandon, you're up first.
It's going to be Metal Gear Solid. Mainly because, like, just, once again, the style of the game, how different it is, the learning curve. Destiny is, it's Destiny. It's like PlayStation's Halo. It hasn't changed,
Okay. All right. Leo, about you?
I can't name a single character in Destiny, but I can tell you, like, half of who Foxhound is in Metal Gear Solid. I think it's just that much more iconic, so I'm going to give it to Metal Gear Solid.
Righteous. Okay. All right. Well, Metal Gear Solid advances because I choose it as well. All right. Up next, we have Batman Arkham versus GoldenEye 007. Lee, you're first.
This is, this is kind of a tough one.
No, it's not.
But I'm
No,
gonna
it's
say
not.
GoldenEye.
What?
Ooh.
Yeah. You weren't expecting that, were you?
Ooh.
I'm thinking GoldenEye
Why?
because of how it influenced first-person shooters. Before GoldenEye, the main first-person shooter was Doom, and GoldenEye took that formula and improved on it so much that first-person shooters to this day are basing themselves on that formula.
But the Batman Arkham series has also inspired, once again, there's the new Spider-Man game. Well, it's not new anymore, newish Spider-Man. I'm quite sure they took a page from Batman.
But
My vote is Batman.
Your vote's Batman?
Yeah.
Both of you have valid points, okay? Both of y'all do. Batman is this generation's... It was very advanced. It's a free world. But on the flip side, Brandon, Spider-Man was actually created on PS2 as free world as well. You don't remember that game.
No, I remember that.
So, this is hard.
And then it was also pretty much a little bit... Well, it was an open world, but you can really play as Spider-Man on a PlayStation 1 game, Spider-Man.
Man.
And don't forget, GoldenEye is just a shooter. It's just a shooter.
Well,
You can also make the argument Batman is just an open world game then.
But it takes open world to a whole nother level with the type of things you can do with Batman or the characters. It's very detailed. It's that detail in it.
For nostalgic reasons and because Batman is probably one of the best superheroes ever, and the series itself, they had a sequel that didn't disappoint, and the storyline is great. I'm gonna have to go with Batman. And like I said, GoldenEye was fantastic, but just Batman, man, it was epic, man. It challenged you. So I'm gonna go with Batman. And so let's say Batman is going to advance because Lee, you don't have any more wild cards. So sorry.
I regret nothing.
I know. Okay. All right, we'll keep Super Smash Bros. In. All right, speaking of Super Smash Bros, we have Star Fox versus Mario. This is my turn, right? So I'm going to go with Mario. Brandon?
I'm going with Star Fox because I want Mario out of there.
Wow, okay. All right, Lee, choice is yours. Mario or Star Fox? It's 1-1. Which one is going to advance?
I'm sorry, Brandon.
Yeah.
Mario.
I mean, Mario's a better game. I just don't want Mario to end up at the top. So,
but Brandon, you have a wild card. Do you want to use it?
Nah, I don't. Because next episode, I'm gonna have to choose between Final Fantasy and Baldur's Gate, and that has me sweating. So,
well, you mean next round, because the next round is up next and is the Elite Eight. We're down to our last 8 games, guys. We're getting close. This should come through really easy. So we're going to figure out who is what. All right. Up next, we have, first off, we're going to start off with fighting. All right. We have Street Fighter versus Super Smash Bros. All right. Lee, you go first.
Oh, Lord. I gotta parse this one out.
Now, you did waste your only wild card on Super Smash Bros. But does it go against Street Fighter?
Both are really strong franchises. Even with Street Fighter V being... you know what? Ryu is in Smash Brothers, so I'm going to give it to Smash Brothers.
Wow. Valid point. Ooh. Brandon?
yeah, it's Super Smash Brothers. Both of them are professional games, professional league games. It's Super Smash Brothers.
Oh, man, do I want to use my card? Whatever, man. Whatever. Super Smash Bros. Goes in. Super Smash Bros. Goes in. All right. Or whatever. All right. So DBZ, Dragon Ball Z, for you those who don't know, Dragon Ball Z versus Guilty Gear. Brandon, you're up first.
Because Z Fighters was one of those games that I said was kind of took the system of Guilty Gear, I'm gonna go with DBZ.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Dragon Ball Z as well. So it advances. But Lee, what do you pick?
So you kind of alluded to this, Brandon, but Dragon Ball FighterZ was created by the people behind the Guilty Gear franchise. That being said, Dragon Ball FighterZ is a much more fun game to pick up and play.
Yeah.
So I'll go with it as well.
Okay. Dragon Ball Z it is. All right. Going over to the RPG side there, the last four, it's going to be Kingdom Hearts versus Diablo. Lee, you're up first.
I'm about to make the exact same point I just made for the last two and say Diablo because it's so much fun to just pick up and play as opposed to Kingdom Hearts where you have to sit through 12 cutscenes to do anything.
Okay. All right. I'm going to go Diablo as well. So Diablo automatically goes through unless Brandon chooses against it.
No. Kingdom. I said every time Kingdom Hearts has been pissing me off because of their story and others. Yeah, Diablo. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Diablo goes through. All right. So last of the RPG round is going to be Baldur's Gate or Final Fantasy. Brandon, up to you.
I mean, it's Final Fantasy, but Baldur's Gate is a great game that I feel like don't get a big enough rep as it has, but it's Final Fantasy.
Okay, I'm going to go Final Fantasy as well. Lee?
So here's a weird reverse of the argument I just made. So Baldur's Gate is a lot of fun, easy to pick up and play. I can't tell you a single thing about the story or the characters or anything in Baldur's Gate. But Final Fantasy, on the other hand, yeah, you want to get me talking about Final Fantasy 9, Final Fantasy 15, I will talk your head off about those.
Especially, I like 10. Okay,
yeah,
all right. All right, well, moving along. We're going to go sports next. All right, with sports, we have Wii Sports versus NBA Jams. I'm going to go NBA Jams. Lee?
This is kind of tough because I had a lot of fun with Wii Sports, but NBA Jam is just such a solid title. I got to give it to NBA Jam.
NBA Jam advances unless Brandon picks and goes against NBA Jams. Brandon,
I mean, it's...
You also have a wild card, Brandon.
Yeah. I mean, NBA Jam is it's harder title. It has more to it. It's more meat than Wii Sports, so we can NBA Jam.
Okay. All right. Last in sports. Whew, Brandon, you're first. It's going to be Mario Kart versus Tony Hawk Pro Skater. What's your pick?
I mean, Tony Hawk is a better game. You just have more fun with Mario Kart. So, I mean, Tony Hawk Pro Skater gets my vote.
All right, Lee.
Man, I think I'm going to have to go Tony Hawk, too.
Okay, well, Tony Hawk, I have no arguments at all. I want to pick Mario Kart. Trust me, I do. But, man, like I said, just the nostalgia of... If Mario Kart had Rage Against the Machine on it, then yeah, I would have picked it. And then you can create the X-Men or Spider-Man. Like, you get Spider-Man doing a skateboard trick and he gets a web and slings it back to him. Like, come on, man. That's just hands down the best part of Tony Hawk. All right. So now we're going to our last section, and we're going to action adventure. We start with Lee. Lee, the first one up is Batman. Oh, actually, it's going to be Grand Theft Auto versus Metal Gear Solid. Which do you pick?
Metal Gear, hands down.
What? Okay, all right. Brandon, what do you pick? Because obviously I'm going GTA, so
It's weird because these two different games.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna have to go with Grand Theft Auto. Only because like Grand Theft Auto, it doesn't really have terrible stories that much. They have great characters, and they have a lot of good ones. There have been a couple of bad Metal Gear Solids.
Yeah, well, there's been a couple of bad Grand Theft Auto 3 and 5. Or,
I didn't
4.
think 3 was bad. 4 I did not play.
Whatever the one that had the Russian, I liked the Russian part of it. I didn't like that one. I wouldn't. Anyway, that was smart. So, because Lee doesn't have any more wild cards, GTA advances. Okay. So, last but not least, it's going to be a hard one for most people. It's going to be action adventure again. Okay. Mario versus Batman Arkham. Lee, you're up first.
This is BS.
I'm gonna say Mario.
Wow. Okay. All right, Brandon.
I mean, it's Mario. They just have more games. It's freaking Mario.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Mario it is. And with that being said, now we move to the Elite Eight. Sorry, I lied to y'all. That was the Sweet 16. So now we move to the Elite Eight. Okay. First up, we have. Okay, let's start with. You know what? Let's go ahead and get it out the way. Let's start with action adventure versus. So action adventure. First up, we have Brandon. We have GTA versus Mario.
I'm going with GTA.
All right.
Only
Okay.
because, and I will say, just in case, people are raging, only because I want Mario out of this.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Lee, you're up next.
I'm starting to think I feel the same way about GTA that you do about Mario, Brandon. So I'm picking Mario.
Since y'all leave me with the deciding factor. Oh, man. Oh, man, this is hard. I'm going to have to go with... Oh, man. Brandon, you still have a wild card. I'm going with Mario. I'm going with Mario.
I mean,
'Cause
there's still hope to get it out of there.
Honestly, like I said, it's a game that the very first game I played ever, and it's still going, and it keeps revolutionizing itself. And plus, it's not that violent, I don't care either way. I'm just saying,
I mean,
I know.
Yeah.
But if you think about it, like I said, most of these characters on this list, Mario has on this game. So, I mean, it's just, I like Mario, action adventure, mushrooms, flying. It's gotta go Mario, okay? All right, so up next we have RPG. All right, we have Diablo versus Final Fantasy. Brandon, you're up.
It's Final Fantasy.
Okay, I'm gonna go Diablo. All right, Lee, what do you pick?
I've always been a Final Fantasy diehard. Sorry, Diablo.
Wow.
I mean,
okay.
even the MMORPG is better than Diablo, so,
All right. Okay. Not mad at that. Not mad at that at all. All right. So next we have NBA Jams versus Tony Hawk. Brandon, what do you have?
That is an interesting one. Probably still Tony Hawk, because Tony Hawk did have a solid multiplayer.
Okay, so Tony Hawk. Tony Hawk it is. All right, that's it.
Well, no. What did Lee say?
You're right, because... My bad. Sorry, Lee. All right. Lee, Tony Hawk versus NBA Jams. Well, it doesn't matter, because, I mean, it doesn't... But,
No.
You're right, but what's your opinion, Lee? Sorry.
Also Tony Hawk.
Okay. Tony Hawk advances. He wins that category. Tony Hawk is his best sports game. Okay, all right. Last but not least, the end of the fighters. End of the fighters. Super Smash Bros. Versus Dragon Ball Z. I'm up first. I'm gonna go Super Smash Bros. Lee, you're next.
So I'm about to make a lot of my friends mad because I'm about to expose myself for the filthy casual I am and say Super Smash Brothers.
Bam! Dragon Ball Z is out of there.
I mean, yeah. Yeah. Super Smash Brothers is, both are great games, but Super Smash Brothers is more enjoyable,
Okay.
And they keep adding characters. I mean, I'm surprised Goku is not in Super Smash Brothers.
Wow. Okay. Wow. I think we might make some people mad with this. Looking back at it, All right. So the stage is set for our final four. Y'all have Final Fantasy is the best RPG game. Tony Hawk as the best sports game. Mario as the best action adventure game. And Super Smash Bros. As the best fighting game. How did we get here? All right.
I can live with this.
All right, guys. So the final four is set. Are y'all ready for this?
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Bring it.
Let's do it. First, we have Tony Hawk versus Final Fantasy. Lee, you're up first.
Ooh. Okay. As much fun as I've had with Tony Hawk, Final Fantasy has been with me that much longer. So I've got to give it to Final Fantasy.
Ooh, okay, well, I love me some Tony Hawk, man. I'm going to have to go with Tony Hawk. So, Brandon, ball's in your court.
I mean, Final Fantasy has some great multiplayers. Not just 14, but, NT and those, Dissidia, all those other ones. So, Final Fantasy.
Okay. At this point in this time, it seems that Tony Hawk advances. Why? Because I'm using my wild card. So Tony Hawk can go to the finals.
Now, Now, you're using your wild card.
I'm using my wild card.
So I'm going to use my wild card to overrule your wild card.
So here's the problem, though, okay? Lee has to give us a challenge question.
What?
Yeah. So Lee, think of a hard question. Whoever gets this question right gets their wild card pick.
Nah, I lost it.
What does the question have to pertain to?
Anything that you think we probably wouldn't get, but if we get it. All right, I guess let's keep it simple. Give us a number and we'll pick between whatever.
Okay. Pick a number between 1 and 10.
Oh, that's too broad. Come on.
Broad? What do you mean broad?
Okay, whatever. 1 to 10. All right. All right, Brandon, you go first.
All right, 3.
7.
It was 7.
Really, Lee? You go up? You would choose
7 is like
up?
my go-to number.
I know, which is why I thought you would not go to the go-to number.
Oh, Tony Hawk advances, man. Thank you, Lee. All right, Tony Hawk advances. Tony Hawk is going to the finals. All right. Up next, we have the controversial. Is it crazy that Mario has ran this whole board? Because now, in the final four, we have Mario versus Super Smash Bros. Brandon, actually, this is up to you. You pick first.
Oh, I mean, I'm choosing Super Smash Brothers.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Lee, what's your pick?
I know I used my wild card for Smash
Oh my
Brothers,
god!
but without Mario, there would be no Smash Brothers.
Valid
So I
point,
have to
bro.
give it to Mario.
But how many other Mario games can you just go back to? How
Mario went from 2D to 3D to, look, it's Mario, man.
Which some
like
people probably played once or haven't finished.
Because just like Crash Bandicoot, just like the stages keep going and going and going, and like Mario was the OG for all this, man. Like, so I'm gonna have to pick Mario as well. Okay, all right. So it looks like the stage is set. So we have our final two. We're gonna have our finals coming up. All right, guys, the stage is set. We have our final two for the straight up millennial best video game / series ever. You guys excited? Pumped up?
I mean,
I'm
no.
ready.
Why are you upset, Brett? Are you really upset?
Yeah.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Hey,
Pretty
man.
much.
Hey, man, join the crowd. It's going to be, and you can send our hate emails to, what's the email, Lee?
I don't care at gmail.com.
Okay, and you can also subscribe to us on YouTube at I Don't Care Either. I'm just kidding. Trust me, we do want your likes and shares. We're just kidding. But nothing's perfect. I'm pretty sure if you individually did your own bracket, people wouldn't be happy with you. Okay, but we're just trying to have fun. Have fun. So now we're here, Brandon. We're here. Final two games. Tony Hawk versus Mario. Lee, you're up. What do you pick?
Wow, I was not expecting Tony Hawk to make it to the end.
Because it was supposed to be Final
That
Fantasy.
took me...
So, what's your pick, Lee?
You know what? I love me some Tony Hawk, but Mario is video games. That's just what it boils down to. Mario is video games. So,
Okay, he said Mario. All right, Brandon.
I don't know
next.
what. Yeah, I'm still being salty. But what's your choice?
Oh no, sir. This is not how this works. You have to go. You know what?
There's been other times where you went before us.
No,
So,
it's okay. It's okay.
No?
You know what? Because Lee had valid points. There would be no video games. I mean, there would be, but Mario is a Capitan. He's the G. He's the OG. He's the leader of video games. When you think about video games, think about Mushroom, Plumbers, Mustache, Power Ups. When's the first time you heard about Extra Life? And Mario, he gave you extra lives. We used to hear about Player 2. Luigi was always Player 2. That was the OG. Mario started that. You didn't have Player 2 on Duck Hunt. You didn't have Player 2 on Pac-Man.
I'm quite sure you did have Player 2 on Duck Hunt.
But for the purposes of my argument, Mario started it all, man. Mario, a plumber from New York with a mustache, with a brother. Mario, man. Mario wins. But I just want to hear your sea saltiness about why you don't want Mario.
I mean, my vote is Mario. I just hate that it somehow got to the first spot.
I mean, honestly,
are you that surprised?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not surprised.
I thought
honestly,
for some reason, got past this part because Mario is just simple. Mario is simple. So
but simple doesn't mean bad.
At all. I don't think it does. So you telling me that a 5-year-old can't pick up Mario and figure it out? Or somebody who is 60 or 70, they want to pass their time and they want to play video games, that Mario would not be something comfortable that everyone can like?
Yeah, I'm saying it is. And that's why it bores me. It bores the hell out of me.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Mario has been voted the best straight up millennial game of all time. Do you agree? Disagree? Hateful comments? Positive comments? Let us know. Until then, that's our time for us today. My name is Calvin. Make sure you follow us on all social media platforms. Subscribe to our podcast, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. We want to hear from you. And make sure that you come back and make sure you give us all your feedback. We want to hear from you. Until then, I'm Calvin, Brandon, Lee, and make sure that you always stay straight up. Have a good one.